So Mackenzie Dern just recently in her Sirius XM interview, she laid out a couple of options for her next fight, and preferably she wants to be involved in rematches, mainly with girls who beat her in the past. So it appears Mackenzie Dern is on a bit of a revenge tour. But let's have a listen to what she had to say here.
I think was really good. I'm really happy with a lot of things. I think Amanda was she's a tough opponent, and she was my first loss in my career. So I'm just on a personal level. I think my career kind of took a different path with that loss. It was like I was undefeated and all these things. And we all know that the record makes a big difference in MMA, and kind of that 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 respect that you get being an undefeated fighter. That's something good to have on your side. So it was definitely just kind of good to get that not that erases it, but to get that back. And really get my first revenge. I have a couple other fights I need to get revenge on.
Okay, well, who else is on your hit list? Are you just like, all right, everyone who beat me, I'm gonna rematch until I'm undefeated again?
Uh, no, I mean, sure. I mean, I'm to fight all of them. I think, of course, the number one is like to get the belt. So, I mean, whatever fight makes sense to get to the belt, um, I'm down for it.
And this is what I said in my video last week, reacting to her saying she would rather Tatiana be champ than Wei Li when she fights for the belt. As I said, to get to the belt, she's got to get through a row of girls who already beaten her, or one person that she's already beaten, but like Amanda Lemos, Jessica Andrade, Verna Roba, Yan Xiaonan. Hypothetically, these are all people she'd have to fight to get to a title shot. But let's get back to this interview.
Fortunately, I don't know. Fortunately or unfortunately, all the top girls in front of me I fought before.
That's what I
So it's
said.
very very probable that maybe I'll have another rematch with someone.
Is there a specific rematch that you want the most? Is there a specific target that you have in mind?
I mean, I think Virna Jandiroba, she was gonna fight Tatiana Suarez, who's now fighting for the belt.
Mm-hmm.
She's one that I won.
Yeah.
She wasn't a loss to me. But I think just just kind of setting up for the title run. For me, it would make sense to kind of give her that opportunity, and for me to kind of just show. She ended up beating like Amanda Lemos and Marie.
See, this is exactly what I was saying should happen. I did say that if she were to beat Amanda Lemos, which I doubted her, I didn't believe she would do it, but, I said if she were to win, I said the fight to make to get her a title shot is no other than Verna Jandiroba. Someone that she's already beaten 4.5 years ago. And I feel like she'd be like the least risky matchup of everyone else in the top five. Even though Verna Roba is like on a roll, I feel like someone like Jessica Andrade is more of a difficult stylistic matchup than a Verna or even actually no. I feel like Yan Shonan and Andrade, weirdly enough, are more difficult matchups and more risky matchups than Verna, whereas Verna, she already has that win over her. She's going to have that psychological advantage. Not guaranteed, but I feel like Dern could win that fight again against Verna. And I feel like that's the perfect logical title eliminator to make. Although Verna called out Yan Xiaonan. Based off calling out Yan, I don't think Verna is going to wait out for the winner of Tatiana versus Zhang. Even though she probably should, I could see her taking another fight. I feel like rematching Dern would make the most sense for both people's careers. But let's get back into the interview one more time before I give my full review on the interview.
Marina Rodriguez like way easier than I did. I didn't even beat them. I lost to them. So it's just kind of like a matchup that, it's like one girl beats one, the other one beats you, and then you beat that. You know what I mean? It's like that crazy MMA math that doesn't really make sense. You know, but so I
True.
think Vienna and maybe I don't know, maybe Young who just fought for the belt,
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
or I don't
another
know,
good
any of them, any of
rematch.
them really. I think was really good. I'm really happy with a lot of things. I think Amanda was she's a tough opponent, and she was my first loss in my
Okay, so she's repeating stuff she already said. It's just on loop. So, okay. I mean, I like what Dern's saying. She's saying all the right things, but I mean, again, I'm saying again because I've made these points in other videos. Is she gonna be able to get through this top five to get a title shot? And I'm gonna explain why I think Jan and Andrade are more difficult matchups than Verna, even though on paper Verna should be better than both. It's because with Jessica, she's got the one hitter quitter in her hand. She's got that one shot knockout power. And she's also a tank. She's very physically strong. It's going to be hard to take her down. And Dern can't really wrestle well to get the fight to the ground anyway. So, and I feel like with Jessica's power, it's dangerous for Dern. And I feel like Dern struggles with women who have power. And then with Xiaonan, it's just her striking prowess. She's just too technical of a striker for Dern's sloppy stand up. And she was already able to handle the ground game. As far as Verna, Verna is good on the ground, decent on the feet, and she gave Dern a tough fight in the last fight and broke her nose, I think. Verna doesn't have the finishing power of Jessica or the technical striking of Xiaonan, so I feel like she matches perfectly with Verna. Um, but I also forgot to mention, I feel like, okay, of all the losses that she's had in the past, she avenged the Rebus loss, but of her other four losses, who does she have the best chance at getting get back against between Lemos, Andrade, and Xiaonan, and Marina? But I don't think the Marina fight's gonna happen because she's falling down the ladder. I feel like she has the best chance to beat Amanda Lemos because in that last fight, with Lemos, it was very close. I felt Dern could have won, but when she got her takedown, she didn't really do any damage, didn't really use much ground and pound. She focused on control, couldn't get subs, and Lemos inflicted more damage, therefore winning her the decision. But adjustments could be made in the rematch. Dern could still implement a takedown heavy strategy. And if she's more active with ground and pound and avoids brawling on the feet, which got her knocked down last time, she could actually win. Whereas Andrade, I feel like that's always going to be a hard fight for Dern. Same with Yan Xiaonan. But it's kind of funny that she didn't mention Andrade as someone that she would want to fight again. Kind of funny she didn't mention that. Maybe she forgot or she knows better. But I mean, Dern, I wish you luck on your journey to a title shot. Part of me kind of hopes you make it. I rooted for you in your last fight. It would be nice to see Dern in a title fight. I think Dern versus Tatiana would be a great fight, a grappler's delight. Wrestling versus jiu-jitsu, or if it's Zhang Wei Li, Zhang would kick her ass. But again, best of luck, Mackenzie Dern. And let me know what you guys think in the comments.